news.
This is Professor Irwin Corey. Corey. I'll edit that out, Mr. Phil. Okay, the world's authority.
World's foremost authority.
The world's foremost authority. And Professor Corey is going to talk to us about some of his early experiences in showbiz.
Not only in show business, but in the field of politics. For instance,
I'm going to let you roll. Just go with it, Professor.
there's a man called William Consular.
Consular.
A lot of people have heard of him as a defense lawyer for those who are at liberty, yet they are aware of the fact that they are no longer allowed to procreate or even to possibly initiate or even cooperate or even delineate. And he is a very, very good lawyer, or was a good lawyer, passed away recently.
Yeah, these things
He
happen,
was
you know.
defending a fella called Pelletier.
Leonard Pelletier, yeah. We're talking
An
about
Indian
Wounded Knee and all that,
who has
right?
been put in jail for about 30 years for defending his country. There were some FBI agents that entered the Indian reservation.
Yeah, I like that.
It's
one.
really a nation, not a reservation. A reservation is something that you make when you want to go and have dinner in a restaurant.
That's right.
That's the reservation.
Remember that. Go ahead.
But these people were put in jail, or he was put in jail,
Yeah.
and there were 5 other members of the group that were released because they were defending themselves. But Leonard Peltier was defending himself. These FBI agents came into this Indian land without passports and with guns.
How do
You try to
like
go
that?
to England without a passport, and especially with a gun, they wouldn't let you even come into the airport.
All right, well,
Leonard Pelletier,
this is fascinating.
I understand that William Consul was defending him, and he asked me if I would contribute anything to his defense. I said, yeah. So I wrote him a check for $5,000.
Very nice. Maybe you
So
write me
he
a
called
check
me
for
up and he said,
$5,000.
Irwin, I thought you were going to give me a few dollars. You sent me $5,000. I said, what, did I spell thousand wrong?
There you go. Hey, let me ask you a question. When you were a young guy a couple of weeks ago, I used to be a young guy, I had hair, but we don't talk about that anymore.
Oh, you got a lot of hair.
Okay. You knew some of the greatest minds of our time, and I'm not being cute when I say that.
Yeah.
You knew Lenny Bruce.
Lenny Bruce,
You knew Georgie Starr.
yes.
Okay.
And I
Jackie
also-
Gale.
I also knew Jackie Gale.
Yeah.
I also knew Jonathan Winters.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about them. Spazier a little bit.
Well, Jonathan Winters was one of the great performers of our time.
One of the funniest, genuinely
man?
funny guys.
Yeah, he was very, very, not only cute and intelligent, but he was a man who had a lot of dignity.
Yes.
A man, unfortunately, was harassed by people who didn't understand him, yet appreciated him.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
And then there was Lenny Bruce.
Lenny, yeah.
Lenny Bruce was killed by the United States
That's right.
government.
That's right. The full
The
strong.
FBI agents found out
How you feel?
who his pusher was, and they supplied him
Okay,
with
all right. I'll talk to you
heroin
later. Okay.
uncut.
Yeah, bad smack.
Now,
man. Yeah.
when you cut heroin, you cut it about 40%,
Yeah.
and if you take one snip, it's enough.
That's
But he
right.
took 40 snips at one time because the heroin was uncut, and that's
Right.
what put him in.
All right.
Lenny was a wonderful man, intelligent, gentle, sweet, and a person that we looked up to and admired because he had ideals which he carried out all the time.
That's right. He wasn't afraid.
No.
No.
He was murdered by the United States government.
Okay.
I say that, in the same sense that we have a way you can spy a terrorist. You know how you spy a terrorist?
How do you spy a terrorist?
By their uniforms.
There you go. Very good. Tell us some of the experiences that you had when you were on the road as a kid. Like you were a featherweight champion.
I was a featherweight
How many people know that you're a hitter?
In 1933.
33. That's before I was born yet. Go ahead.
And I was in Springfield. I was in Prescott, Arizona.
What did you
I was
Prescott,
in Springfield. Arizona? All these little places. I won 9 fights.
Knockouts?
No, by points. I never hit the guy.
What do you mean you never hit the guy?
I never hit the guy, but the guy never hit me either.
All right, so you won like a dancing contest?
I was dancing around.
There you go.
And like Charlie Chaplin in the Gold Rush, or City Lights, where he has a prize fight, he danced around. That was a great guy, Chaplin.
Wow, okay. Well, what do you think about the state of the government we're experiencing now? What do you think about?
Well,
like,
I always say
we're not going to cut this. This is going on cable anyway, but who cares? You know, then it goes worldwide. So you got alarms on the door, right?
Well, here we have George Washington.
George Washington,
one of our first presidents.
It was the first president.
No, he was one of the first.
One of the first.
Because we had many before him, and they didn't last long, and we know their names, but we're not allowed to talk about that.
Okay, why don't we talk about them?
I mean, we can talk about Washington, who was known as the father of our country.
Yes, he was.
Which was an amazing feat. Because transportation at that time was at a very low ebb. And in fact, they put up a great monument in his honor.
They did?
Yeah, they put up that great big Washington monument.
The famous.
You notice on the top there's still a tip. That means he wasn't Jewish.
There you go.
Yeah, George Washington.
He wasn't Jewish. Okay.
You know, Ulysses S. Grant, you ever hear of him?
Ulysses S. Grant, yeah, one of my favorite generals.
Yeah, he was a drunk. But he
but look,
he ordered all Jews out of Tennessee.
Yes.
And when Lincoln heard about this order, he rescinded it. By the time he rescinded it, the 2 Jews already left. But Grant, Lincoln wanted to know what brand he drank so he can give to the other generals.
So what do you think about
I'll tell you something.
Go ahead, I'm
you
sure
know,
you will.
There was never an American Revolution.
Uh-oh.
You know what it was?
What was it?
A rebellion.
Yes, it was.
A rebellion is different than a revolution.
Okay.
A rebellion starts with the rich people and they hire soldiers to do their bidding.
That's right.
A revolution, you join, you don't desert, you don't get paid. There's no money. But rebellions, they get paid.
All right.
And another thing, the Constitution was never ratified.
Uh-oh. All right, go ahead. I didn't know we were going to have a political discussion here. I figured we were going to get some shtick, but that's okay,
Okay.
Give me some shtick about Obama.
I'll tell you what, I was running for president.
I know, with the Hugh Hefner Michigan State.
Yeah. And I lost by 200,000 votes.
So I got
4,000 votes in Chicago alone.
4,000 votes in Chicago?
Write-ins.
All right, listen, these things, that's almost as bad as missing the lottery by only 6 numbers.
You know what, I once went for, to be in a play called The Beggar's Holiday.
Okay, Beggar's Holiday.
And the script gave a thumbnail description of the character. The character was a cross between Moby Dick and Professor Corey. And when I went down to read for the part, they said I wasn't fit for the part.
What?
Although it was made on my account.
I understand that.
Zero Mister was in the play. He took the part that I was writing for.
You like Zero?
Yeah, they combined both of them. Well, Zero was a very good friend of mine.
Good.
He met my wife on the street one day and he says to Fran, I'm funnier than your husband. So Fran says, no, you're not. He said, well, I'm taller.
You like that, right? Okay.
I worked in a play called, that's Albert Einstein.
Yes, it is.
That's Charles Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin and Albert Einstein. You got that? Charlie Chaplin and Albert Einstein. What about Charlie Chaplin and Albert Einstein?
Well, Charlie Chaplin was in California at the time in 1949. I was working at a little place called La Papillon, a nightclub that held about 45 people.
Okay.
And
Einstein walked.
Dorothy Parker was there. And Dorothy Parker was the one that said, if all the girls were laid end to end at the Yale prom, she wouldn't be a bit surprised. She invited me to come to a party at Chaplin's house. And my agent says, don't go there. That guy Chaplin's a communist. So I listened to the son of a bitch. And I didn't go.
The agent or Chaplin?
And I missed out on one of the greatest events that could have taken place.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Chaplin was a nice guy, very young.
Yeah.
Imagine if Cary Grant was only 5 foot tall.
Okay.
They wouldn't use him.
No, probably not. Did you?
Well, though he was a very good actor.
Yeah.
Fine man. I once was at a place in La Bistro in California, and there were many actors there. There was Greer Garson, and there was Peter O'Toole, Cary Grant, and I gave a wonderful report, and Cary Grant comes up with me and says, "Who are you, and where have you been?" Cary Grant was a Jewish fellow.
Really?
You know that Robert De Niro was Jewish.
Really?
His mother was Jewish.
You know anybody who wasn't Jewish?
And then also Sylvester Stallone was Jewish. His mother was Jewish.
Really? Okay.
Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley was Jewish?
Jesus Christ was Jewish. Yeah, he was.
No, I know that. I know that. I read. Talk about Jackie Gale a little bit.
Well, Jackie was a wonderful person. He was a very good friend of Lenny Bruce.
Yeah, yeah.
A very good friend. And Jackie had a certain charm about him. Yet he was undeveloped politically. Very people that haven't seen the difference between a comic and a comedian.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A comic writes his own material, and a comedian has somebody write it for him.
That's it. Okay. So what was Johnny Carson, a comic or a comedian?
Well, Johnny Carson was very good.
Yeah.
Years ago, I used to put him down. But later on, when I matured,
and he had the gig, yeah.
That he had a lot of talent.
There you go.
Johnny Carson, Steve Allen, and even a guy called David Brenner, who I put down many years ago. I realized today that the fella had something that most people need in order to become a great performer. And he has a certain style, which I must admit, although I regret it, that he was somebody that I despised at the time. But now, I not only admire him, but I feel that he has a contribution and has made it.
Does he send you letters?
No, he doesn't know that I said that about him.
Oh, okay. He's going to know now.
Yeah,
if he watches it.
now.
Is he still around?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I'm reading a book called The Age of Reason by Thomas Paine.
Okay.
He got it.
Thomas Paine, he was way back there with the fathers of our country, for those of you. Check it out on Wikipedia. Check out Irwin Corey on Wikipedia. Check me out on Wikipedia.
Tom Paine. I had a friend of mine, the name of Tom Paine, but he died a couple of years ago. Young man was running for Congress all the time. And then when Johnson was running for president, he decided he ain't going to run. That's when he could have got in.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Who do you think should be the president now?
The president?
Yeah.
We don't need a president.
That's right.
Eisenhower proved that.
That's right. All right.
Well, that's a good thing.
Because
we know
just
one thing you got to remember. I have a philosophy.
Yeah.
I say it's better to give. It's
better to receive.
It's better to receive than to give.
There you go. See?
A lot of people say it's better to want to give. Give. You get tired, but you never get tired of receiving.
That's right.
That's what I say. Don't earn more than you could spend, but spend more than you earn.
What do you think we should do with credit cards? What do you think about credit cards?
Who?
Credit cards.
Credit cards?
Run them up.
Randy Credit Co.
Randy Credit Card.
Co-cards. Yes.
No.
I think credit cards are a great thing. In fact, if we have credit cards, we don't need money.
That's right. Well, what about paying
And if
the
you
bills
haven't
back?
got money and you got credit cards, you could be like in Russia, for instance. Before they changed, there was no unemployment.
That's right.
They didn't pay any rent. And they had free education.
That's real communism.
But today,
yes,
they got democracy. They
Yeah.
got unemployment.
that's right.
They got to pay rent.
That's right.
And they have to pay for their tuition.
These
But
things.
that's democracy.
That's right.
Everybody should work for themselves.
Right. What do you think about the building of the third temple there?
The what?
They're going to build a third temple over there.
They are?
Yeah.
You know what the temple was in those days?
What?
It was like a mall.
Right. That's right. That's very good. That's
It was a
right. The inner
mall.
sanctum of King Solomon over there. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. You could buy whatever you wanted.
It was a bazaar,
Well,
right?
It was a bizarre. It was a bizarre. It was a bizarre bazaar.
Bizarre bazaar.
That's right.
A bizarre bazaar.
With
You
old
like that?
buzzards.
That's a good.
I'm a poet.
That's where
too.
Diogenes lived at the,
Diogenes.
supposed-
That sounds like a health spa, man. Where you going, Diogenes? I mean,
Yeah, Mom,
you
I had a
know
brother-in-law
Diogenes? Are they
who
finished?
wrote a limerick.
wrote a limerick. Your
A
brother.
limerick, you have 5 lines, right?
Go ahead. Start again. There
Oh,
once
shit.
was a chick with a tit. Go ahead.
There was a young girl named Kit
Kit.
who had an enormous tit.
Tit.
It would bounce up and down from the toe to her crown. But that's only 4 lines. Oh shit.
Well, that was pretty profound there. That's Professor Irwin. So why don't you just do some shtick? Like you did like at Bernstein's last week.
About Moses,
Talk about Moses, yeah.
I say Moses was a black Egyptian.
Yes, he was.
He was the only illegitimate child of Pharaoh's daughter.
Okay.
She told her father she found it in the bulrushes.
That's going to piss off the people on the Upper East Side, but that's okay.
She
Go
said
ahead.
she found it in the bulrushes.
Yeah.
You believe that shit?
Wednesday.
You know, years ago.
Watch this. Go. Go.
Years ago, 10 years ago, we had Johnny Cash, Bob Hope, and Steve Jobs. Here it is,
Yeah,
10
yeah.
years later, there's no Cash,
Okay.
no Hope, and no Jobs.
All right, that's stretching. That's stretching. What else? Finish the one with Moses.
But Moses was standing on Mount Sinai.
Mount Sinai.
He said, here we'll build a hospital.
The hospital.
There was
That's
a
very
burning
inside.
bush.
Very few people are going to catch that.
I said,
I'll
that was the
explain it
burning
to them.
bush.
Yeah, you got. Listen, I want you to talk about the parameters of exposition that relate to for the progeny of developing ultra-intellectual concepts.
Well, I believe that you can divide yourself to the proposition
Got
that
it.
in order to create the centrifugal force, you got to use parliamentary measures in order to divert yourself from the axis upon which we can not only recline, but realize that our agitation is based not on the feudalism, but they always said, give feudalism a chance.
Well, wait a minute. What about lactation relative to rhinocerasians?
No, you can't do that. You got to relate to it in a different manner.
What does
You
the
gotta
money
have-
have to relate to it, Professor?
Well, you have Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, along with Romania, Domania, and Romania.
You said that one.
And that was Peter Sellers in the
Mouse
That Roared.
Yeah.
I told David Brenner,
Yeah.
not David Brenner, but Letterman. Dave Letterman.
You were on Letterman's show?
I was on his show,
They paid you?
and I told him that we got Grenada.
Grenada.
Grand Fenwick is next.
Right.
Grand Fenwick, that's a little Dutchery in the Mouse That Roared.
Yeah. Don't clank on me over here. We got footage, you know. So you're going to be 99 years in July.
July 29th,
July 29th.
I would have completed 99 years.
You're going on 100?
And I'll be going on 100 July 30th.
Oh, have I?
I will start my 100th year.
What else you want to talk about? You know, listen, I'm finding it hard to stay awake.
What do I want to say?
Let's
Well,
try
what I
that
wanna
again.
say is
What else you
something.
want to say? Because I'm finding it hard to stay awake. Thank
I
you.
say this,
Am I keeping you up here? There. Come down.
I say this, you can get more
Yeah,
with a kind word
yeah, and a gun.
than a gun.
Yeah,
That was just a kind word.
that's right. That's right. That's very good. That's very good. What's your?
Jolson story.
The Jolson story
Of course, you like the Jolson.
with,
You were around when they filmed that there. That's right.
I knew Ralph Jolson.
Yeah.
I used to watch him at the Capitol Theater in 1929. I stayed for 4 performances, and everyone was different. And after when it was
Take it all the way
broken
back.
up,
Take it all the way back,
It was
Professor.
only 25 cents to go.
What are your earliest and fondest remembrances of showbiz?
The show that I liked the best was I told you Citizen Kane.
No. I mean, your experiences. What are the things that you feel influenced you the most? Besides, you know, being
The
an
thing that
award.
influenced me the most,
Yeah.
I don't think I was ever influenced.
Okay.
I made up my own mind to the extent that what I didn't know, I would make up.
All right, so let's talk about something that you don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Let's talk about. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna feed you with some shtick. Okay. Okay. Let's talk what you don't know. Tibetan cosmology.
Cosmology.
I'm
Well,
gonna
that's
blow my
not-
nose. Wait a minute. I gotta blow my nose. This is all right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're not gonna do it on TV though, because like, you know, they'll think, geez, the Jewish guy blew his nose. You know? What do you think about Tibetan technology?
But what I don't know, I
Technology,
make up.
cosmology.
Well, it's very different to discuss a pinpoint of any particular subject if the middle of the circle upon which we travel in our own minds can be abrogated by the same force which causes us to do what we want to do rather than do the accepted feelings of taking it as calm, resilient, and to do all the way that without any possibilities.
Are you suggesting that abrogation is a denial of reality?
No, reality is something which is an assumption rather than an actual purpose of thought. There's no such thing as reality.
That's right, it's all illusion.
It's all made up.
I mean, this is not happening?
It's different. Well, I'll tell you something.
What?
We got here about 1 o'clock. It's about 1:30 now.
No, it's not, it's more than that, it's like
Oh,
1:44, I'm getting tired, I'm getting fed up with the whole thing already, man.
I just want to thank you. And I want you to remember, from the world's foremost authority, you got to remember that wherever you go,
There you are! All right. Listen, thank you very much. This is Professor Irwin Corey, one of the most important people in his own mind, and at the same time, here he is on Hanshi's World, which is going to kind of throw off the normal run and setting of what we do here on Hanshi's World. But I wanted you to know that this man is responsible for many things, including that other stuff that we haven't discussed with us. He forgot about it, but he wanted me to remind him anyway.
and I want to say thank you for being here. And I want you to know that
And if I'm trying to do shtick with Irwin Corey, forget about it, man. Go ahead.
whatever the cosmic thoughts are, you got to remember that it's better to be born rich and healthy than poor and sick.
That's right. There you go. Okay, thanks very much. Okay. All right. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Were these two people here all the time? Okay. All right, we're gonna let me just get an up close of you.
We used to do it.
let's just get it up close here. Don't fall asleep yet there. I mean, you know, don't clank until I leave.
Okay.
There you go. Look up and give a smile, Gordon.
Shalom. It's good to know you so long. And remember that life is short and memory is long. But with all that brought to mind, you've got to be sublime in all of our actions so that we can always have
Irwin mentions him in his act.
impossible to accept all the stuff that goes with it. So remember, that's the point. You've got to perform, you've got to relate, you've got to sing, you've got to dance, you got to play, you got to roll, you got to feel that you're not alone, but you're with all your friends, and God bless them all. I say God bless them all because it's an expression that in itself has no meaning. But it's a way of saying that you want to enjoy yourself and you want to be happy with those who are around you. And remember, friendship is true friendship when two people are silent and feel very comfortable with each other. That's what true friendship is.
Zeit. Thank you. Thank you, Irwin.
Okay.